So welcome back, everybody. This is going to be an interesting episode for me. So as the title has probably alluded to you, we're going to start diving into doing some hurricane cleanup. We have trees down everywhere, including all my trails been blocked. I haven't accessed my woods in over a year and a half. I really don't know how they look other than flying a drone over and seeing matchsticks laid down everywhere. This just blew down in a recent storm, so I want to get it cut up. Y'all have already seen the big burn pit. We're going to stack it up, but ultimately, it's not about this. I just want to be able to get back to mowing and riding my perimeter. Since we're going to have the tractor and everything else hooked up, let's get that out of the way. And we need to do it before it gets any hotter and before these yellow flies get any worse. They're bad. I'm going to get tore up today. But I waited till the wrong time of year to do this. So ultimately, we're coming out here in Snakeville because, as y'all can see, it's just trees laid down everywhere. Here's a beautiful, looks like ash tree. I want to get that out. We'll see what we can do with it. Got this old nasty, I don't know what the heck it is, with 14 different forks in it. We're gonna cut it out of the way and just push to the side. Sadly, y'all, I'm just trying to get out here and access the rest of my woods in the beginning of this trail. We're gonna have to picket this all summer, probably in the next fall. I am not going after all the trees that are down there. Semi-loads of trees down out here. I can never process them. A lot's probably already rotten because they've been on the ground so long. But I want to go after ones like this ash that's way up off the ground. It's not touching anything. Here's the root ball to it. And you're going to see me waste a lot of wood. Get over it. Sorry. I've got so many trees down. We're going to cherry pick the straight and good sections that I can use and haul them up front. As y'all seen in a recent episode, well, all my stacked firewood logs that I have up there, they're rotten. So now we're going after some green ones. I want to get some staged logs up there. So as it gets super hot the rest of the summer, I don't want to be out here doing this. At least I have green wood to pull from up there, stacked, ready to go. And I can split and do other things with it underneath the barn, out of the sun, with the fan going, all that good stuff. All right, weapons of choice today. Got my Husqvarna pole saw so we can get this nasty mess up. None of that's firewood. That is pure junk. I just want to cut it up in manageable pieces I can get with the grapple. And my baby, my Stihl 261, probably the best firewood saw made in my opinion. Super lightweight, plenty of power to go after the size trees we're going after today. All right, so they're supposed to be in the 90s today. We need to get to work fast. So when it does hit the 90s, we're in the tractor with the AC going. You know that old saying, does a bear crap in the woods? Yeah, they do. Oh, what a mess. Lord, is it getting hot, y'all. All right, so you can see I have now hooked up to my skidding winch. If y'all haven't seen this awesome piece of equipment, boy, is it filthy. I need to clean it up. Been under the barn, haven't used it for a while. But got a couple hundred feet of cable in here, runs off the PTO of the tractor, got a clutch that we can engage by hand, and it's got like, I think, 8,800 pounds of pulling capacity. I pulled some massive logs with this. Just as important, I've got spots to hang choker chains in and drag logs out of the woods. And I brought my little homemade carrier with a saw, snake boots, should I need them, wedges, chokers, all that other stuff. Let me show you something real quick. It's getting later in the day. It is getting extremely hot. Too hot for me to want to be doing this much longer. Hot for the equipment. We're going to try to snatch a couple of logs, but I have discovered some massive trees and massive logs in here. We're definitely going to have a part 2 to this. Well, if I'm being honest, we're probably going to have a part 47 to this, because we're going to be working on this all summer, realistically, into next winter. I've got tons of trails in here, and we've only just busted 100 and something feet of one. So there is a big oak in here that blew down a while back. We're gonna try to pull it out. I mean, it goes way in there. Gorgeous log. If it doesn't look rotten when we pull it out, still looks pretty solid up here. Maybe it's something we can salvage for firewood. We'll have to get splitting that one really quick. But I'm really after some green trees, greenish. And we for sure have them in here. Oh, what a mess, y'all. I gotta get the excavator in here with the mower and start blazing these trails. Okay, so now that I have beat the trail down and I feel safe enough walking, not worried about snakes, we can take a peek in here. Let me show you what we got going on. There's some pretty exciting stuff in here. So for starters, I got a really long, straight, probably 20-foot long section of ash, I do believe that is in there. That one's gonna be tough to pull out. I'm gonna try to pull it out that way. But that's a massive log. I'm gonna have to go in there and buck it in half. And there's still another long section of it so far and deep in the woods, I don't know that I can get in there and get it, to be honest with you. So this was a huge tree. I don't even know what the heck this is right here, but it was just all gnarly. Y'all seen me just buck it all up and just been pushing. I didn't think it was gonna be any good until I kept driving by right here and discovered, y'all are not even gonna be able to see it. I have to probably get my snake boots to go out there and show you. If we'll buck this tree off right here, y'all, there is 20-25 feet of a massive and looks relatively straight log right there. Like that would be what y'all call a sawmill log all day long. Yeah, I mean, look at it. Just perfect straight, probably 24 to 30 something inches in diameter. Goes way back in there. We're gonna have to try to go after that one. I'm not gonna be able to pull that whole log out. I'll probably have to go in there and buck it in like 8 or 10 foot sections to pull out. As hot and nasty as it is, that's something we'll probably go after in a couple of days, early morning. Yeah, I should have put my snake boots on. Let's go in here and take a peek. I hate that this tree is touching the ground, but look at this big mamma jamma. What is that, another ash? I can't really tell. But it's got a little bow in it right here, but then look at the super long straight section up there. Big tree. I don't know if that's still any good or not. I have to cut into it because it's obviously been laying and touching the ground in places. Just breaks my heart. We got just trees down like this everywhere. Camera, y'all can't see them because it's too green in here right now. All right, look at this beast. This is dangerous now. We're gonna have to get this down eventually because my trail continues to go this way. Look at, what is that, 30 feet, 30 some odd feet of just pure, long, straight, beautiful looking tree right there. We got to get it down because it's dangerous. I'm not even going to worry about the top. It's hung up bad in this tree. This is going to be really dangerous to cut down. I'm probably going to have to cut into that tree right there a little and then try to start pulling back. I don't know. We're going to deal with this another day too, but I wanted to show y'all that is a beautiful log. And then that one over there is massive, bigger around than this, but this one's longer. All right, we're gonna come in and skid and hook to this one. I bucked it off up there where it's split. It's got a pretty big split in it, but maybe we'll turn it into some firewood. I'm gonna hook to and skid this out. In all reality, we're gonna have to open this trail up for me to start getting all this wood out of here over the next many, many months. And then it just comes into an absolute disaster in here. We're just gonna have to work at this, y'all, over the next many, many months. That's a low quality, no good tree, so we're gonna buck this off. Look over here. You got big oaks down all across, and we can't see what's behind this, but I never used to have that much canopy. I used to have big pines in there. Looks like my massive yellow pines, and y'all, I'm talking massive, they're down. Looks like I lost all my huge 100-foot pines. What's behind this is probably gonna be heartbreaking. There is just gonna be tons of trees down. So we'll just start salvaging what we can, and this is only a small section of trail. You go on the other side of a pond that's in here, and there is a bunch more trail that we cannot access at all. This is my first time blazing into the woods since all the hurricanes. We'll work this trail for probably a few months. Then we'll go over and start opening up the other section of trail, salvaging what we can, trying to mainly go after trees like this that are up off the ground. That'll still be plenty good wood. Some of them still have enough roots connected. They're still green in the top, so they're still a perfectly green tree. That's great. I can't tell if it's too far gone or not. I guess we're gonna go ahead and cut a few logs out of it. It's such a long tree. We'll see. I could tell you one thing, I don't charge enough for firewood. that worked like a charm. I love that piece of equipment. Love it. I'm feeling it. Boy, did I pick a bad day to do this, but sadly, it's only gonna get hotter. We're having a super hot May. I just checked my weather station and it says feels like 102 degrees. Now that's with the heat index. We're already 92 and climbing for the day. I'm knocking off. But so goes life in Florida. Now the good news is, I feel really good. I worked, I was covered in sweat earlier. It feels really good to get out here and do this. So I'm happy with that. And something I've been wanting to do for a year and a half, we finally started opening my trails up. I feel relief doing that because I've just wanted access back to my woods. The whole reason we bought this property, woods. I love woods, absolutely do. So today felt great. We got some good logs out of there. We have eyeballed a couple of major, beautiful logs that we're gonna go after, and who knows what we're gonna find as we keep blazing a trail through there. Y'all, I cannot brag enough about this skidding winch right here. There's the model number if you want to look it up. Heck, I'll put a link in the description. I was just on their website the other day. By the way, I done got several things from TMG Industrial. My car lift, 0 issues. I bought this, what, two and a half, maybe 3 years ago now, I can't remember. 0 issues, it's absolutely worked. I can't recommend this enough. And when I was on their website, I was expecting, because it's been several years since I bought mine, the price would be dramatically higher. Almost what I bought it 4 years ago. That may be about to change since I just said that with tariffs and everything else going on. But if you're in the market for a skidding winch, these are about 50% less than any of the other ones that you're going to find. I kid you not. That made me nervous when I first bought it, thinking, why is it so much cheaper than all the rest of them? Am I going to have problems? 0 problems, and several of y'all went out and bought them since you've seen them in my videos. I get emails, I get comments. Everybody else seems to be having excellent luck with theirs as well. So I'm going to leave it hooked up because we've got a couple of massive logs to go back after. We'll probably wait for the next morning. That we occasionally are still getting some mornings in the 60s, although most are in the 70s. And I'm going to try to get out there first thing, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning while it feels good. We'll try to bust it out for a few hours, drag a few really heavy, long logs out of there, get them staged, and then knock off for the day, go in the shop and do something else. I know a lot of y'all been looking forward to this. I've been reading the comments. Y'all been ready for us to start logging and skidding and clearing the trails out. Well, that has started, and we'll occasionally keep doing that and blazing through that trail out there. Thank y'all for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.